He worked to reduce crime in his own community here in New York City, but was then murdered while on vacation in another country. 38-year-old Eric Garvin, a lawyer from Staten Island, was in Chile when his passion for travel and photography came to a sudden and violent end. He was shot to death on the streets of Santiago. His father, devastated by the news, spoke exclusively with Eyewitness News reporter Mike Marza about the tragic loss. Mike?
Sade, so heartbreaking. Eric Garvin went to Santiago with his best friend. The two stayed in separate parts of town, and when Garvin's friend couldn't find him, well, he went to the U.S. Embassy to report him missing, but instead, he was dead in a hospital morgue. Chilean authorities telling the family Garvin, who, as you mentioned, was an avid photographer and explorer, may have been wrongly targeted in a drug turf war. Eric Eugene Garvin visited over 40 countries, many with his older sister Naomi. There they are in Cuba.
He made friends very quickly with our hosts and her extended family and even some of the neighbors on the block. But yeah, he never had a concern about going out of the country.
But on vacation in Santiago, Chile, Saturday, January 14th, he was shot and killed, taking a picture.
From a father's perspective, this is the darkest day in my life. In my wife's life.
His father and sister flew to Chile to meet with investigators who are reviewing unreleased security video of the crime.
What they told us was that my son was innocently walking down the street. He paused for a moment. He took a snapshot of a building in a drug-infested area. And immediately following that, 3 gentlemen came across the street, grabbed my son, stole his phone, and they shot him 3 times. And he died there on the scene.
The 38-year-old attorney by trade graduated high school in Maryland and moved to Staten Island a decade ago. He lived a life of exploration and service, inspired by his dad, a former U.S. Air Force colonel.
When he was going to law school at University of Maryland, he met a homeless guy by the name of Darnell. And Darnell had this growth growing on the side of his face, and he had no idea what that was. And my son said, hey, you need to go to the doctor to check that out, make certain it's okay. And what he ends up finding out was that was cancerous. And if it was left untreated, he was going to die. My son going to law school, he was using his advocacy for those who are often not paid too much attention to.
Gene, as his family called him, also worked with former Mayor de Blasio's office on community initiatives to reduce gun violence in areas like Brownsville, Brooklyn.
Oh, I want people to be more like him, right? I want people to make space for each other. I want them to be curious about meeting each other and about experiencing each other's cultures.
His sister Naomi asked me to mention that Santiago is a beautiful place with beautiful people, and authorities there have been helpful in this investigation and are hopeful there will be some arrests soon. But violence that has plagued parts of Venezuela, Brazil, and Colombia now spilling into the streets of Santiago. In fact, homicides in that city have shot up 40% in the last 6 years. Currently, there is not a U.S. State Department travel warning to Chile.
Thank you for coming out, bro. Mike DeVito is here, a long time. Erica Ford is here, Life Camp, of course. I think I said that. Thank you. And I don't say that, I don't take that word lightly, and I don't say it lightly. Eric Garvin was a friend. For him to go out like that is very heartbreaking. Someone who was an advocate for us personally. Chris Foye, Chris S. Owens Foundation, thank you, brother. Thank you for always supporting Staten Island, always staying connected with me. We got more work to do. Thank you, bro.
What's going on, everybody?
Peace.
Out here, you know, we came out to salute our brother. Yeah. You know, Eric was somebody that inspired me from day one. Since I lost my son to a stray bullet, I started the Chris Owens Foundation. And he was one of the brothers that I met that, you know, in my course of trying to get funding and get things going in the middle of my tragedies, like, he really inspired me. Like, he was really one of the people who I seen come out with the suits, you know, Eric. Right. He always was sharp. So, you know, he always was trying to help and assist. Not only that, you know, the way, you know, things happen, his untimely death. Gun violence is something that we all out here, we work to prevent. So for me, it was just like really eerie because, we both creative people. He actually worked with me on some of my film sets, War Retroactive. He was my camera guy, but like I said, he was a friend as well. So he basically died in the process of using his creativity. And that could have been me or anybody, So, we definitely, we love him and we definitely support, all the work that he did. And I didn't want to just let him, go without acknowledging what he actually did for, certain people in the community in Staten Island. He actually worked with me at Neon Arts right here. He was one of my teaching artists as well. So we was real, close in regards to like, the work and just everything overall, someone you could talk to, build with, as men. So, I definitely salute him today. I don't want him to just, his memory to just go and we don't, celebrate him and honor him as well. Just like, a lot of us here, we all human, we all gonna go one day. Right. So I definitely wanted to acknowledge him and the work that he's done and, the legacy he has left. And, I just wanted to show that from me in my heart and my organization, the Chris Owens Foundation. So, that's why I'm out here today, like everyone else. So we salute Eric.
Salute, bro. Salute. Thank you, bro. Again, my sister Tasha Lloyd, for always being a supporter. We met you when we started to do the work, sis. You've been a supporter, a fighter for us. We've sent people your way. You've helped us personally. You've helped our people. You've helped Staten Island, so thank you. Digi, of course, salute, bro. You know what it is. What more can I say? Thank you, bro. Michael DeVito, thank you, bro, for supporting us. So I'm going to pass the mic because I can go on and on and on. But again, this is for Eric Garvin, man. Thank you all for coming. Thank you. We have not forgotten. This won't be the first trip. This is the first tribute that we're doing. This won't be the last. Thank you.
Well, please. Thank you, guys. We all here for our brother Eric. This situation, I know I'm not the only one. It's brought a dark cloud over me since the moment I found out our brother was taken from us on vacation. But I felt this was necessary because there's so many people who he touched, who he loved.
Everybody, I love seeing everyone, but not under these circumstances. We're all here trying to do this work. And first, before I talk about Eric Garvin, I want to say a special shout out to former council member Debbie Rose and our Assemblyman Charles Fall, who actually made the trek to Maryland and to be a part of his homegoing ceremony. So we just would definitely want to give them, love for holding it down for us, and also for the family and friends that decided to do something here. When I heard that Eric Garvin had died, I was at a funeral burying 3 children that died in a fire on Staten Island. And it was my brother who gave me a call because my brother is, we're born and raised in Staten Island, so his father is one of my brother's best friends. And I understood that, this gentleman, I travel the world, he's traveling the world, and we're still contending with gun violence no matter where we go. It all has to end, but it also starts here. It starts here with the work that Penn and Perry is doing. It starts by the work that our public advocate is doing, Jamani Williams. It starts and ends with the work that Ms. Erica Ford is doing, and everybody here to make sure we save one more life, because I'll tell you, that's like my son. He's out there doing his thing. He's an artist. My son's an artist. Multimedia. Eric Garvin was a humanitarian. He was a Renaissance man, and I can't imagine the trajectory this brother would have been. Council, assembly, Congress, anything he wanted. He came from a family. His grandmother, Miss Margie Garvin, we got to shout her out right here, right now, because she's the grandmother of us all. So I just wanted to be here and pay my respects and commune and love on with you all today as we do this balloon. We release these balloons for this young man, and we have to just keep praying because like the brother said, it could be any of us. So he's all of our son.
I'm gonna put you on the spot, Erica, because you always have something to say, and we always ready to listen. And I know that you love Eric, and he just got a kick out of you, from what you wore to what you said to how you move.
Peace, family. When I say Eric Garvin, you say job well done. Eric Garvin.
Job well done.
Eric Garvin.
Job well done.
When I say Eric Garvin, you say live on. Eric Garvin.
Live on.
Eric Garvin.
Live on.
Throw your fist in the air like you mean it. Eric Garvin. Live on. Eric Garvin.
Live on.
Eric Garvin.
Live on.
Job well done.
Job well done.
When I say job well done, you say Eric Garvin. Job well done.
Eric Garvin.
Job well done.
Eric Garvin.
Job well done.
Eric Garvin.
We got to salute our soldiers, you know, because as someone said before, Chris, I think it was, that the dash is all we got. The dash is all we got. And you get measured by your dash. And we can say truly that Eric did a job well done. He went above and beyond. He didn't care if he had the job title or he didn't have the job title. He fought for us. He fought us to let us see what we was doing and how we should do it. Because sometimes we stubborn and we hard-headed, right? And we know it all, right? So we got to take lessons from our peers and our people who have different titles. And Eric was one of those thoroughbreds that always made sure that he lifted the issues that were pertinent to us being successful in this work. And so when we talk about violence as a disease, that's why we can go to another country and see that people are infected by that disease and we still become victim of their illness because the disease on an international level is not cured, right? And so all of us standing here today are part of the medicine that not only we need, but our people need, so that we can be healed and continue a true legacy of Eric Garvin. And so as we stand here, some of you who didn't even know Eric Garvin, understand that we are standing here saluting one of our own soldiers. And that's what we do. We respect and we honor our own. We respect and we honor our own. And so it is not we doing a favor for Penn and Perry and Chris. We are standing together, saluting and paying honor to a soldier who has fallen victim in these streets to the thing that we say we want to help resolve. And so once again, Eric Garvin, I can't hear y'all. Y'all sound like y'all tired, y'all sad, y'all mad, y'all lazy. Eric Garvin!
Job well done.
Eric Garvin!
Job well done.
We can't hear you, Eric Garvin!
Job well done.
Eric Garvin!
Job well done.
Eric Garvin!
Job well done.
In home streets!
Our streets.
In home streets!
Our streets.
In home streets!
Our streets.
Live on!
Eric Garvin.
Live on!
Eric Garvin.
Live on!
Eric Garvin.
Live on!
Eric Garvin.
Straight ahead, right on.
That's what's up.
I would like to introduce to you our public advocate, Chimani Williams.
Peace and blessing, love and light, everybody.
Peace.
Everybody say Eric.
Eric.
Everybody say that's why we're here. Happy to be here with the organizer. Thank you. With the council member, our former assembly member. Got to shout out my brother K. Bain too, who was with me when we helped start all this back in the council. Thank you. And our sister Erica, who's doing this way before there was money involved. And just everybody who's here today. You know, I remember when I first saw Eric, yo, who's this man with the dip suit and goatee holding it down? And he always came looking, you know, had it tight. It's hard when you open the paper and you read something and you're like, yo, I know this dude. That's just a very strange feeling. And to find out what happened and how it happened, it's crazy. He was here helping us trying to address gun violence in the city, and we go over to Chile doing nothing, man, just hanging out, chilling, and get shot. It just shows, really, I believe, how important our work is and how important it is that people see how successful we are, because this is a worldwide issue. I mean, this is a really worldwide issue. This was a good brother. Like, I could see him. I could see him walking and talking and just being smooth and just chilling, trying to make everything work. and he's just gone. He's just gone. So I can't imagine what his family is feeling. I'm very happy. Thank y'all for putting this together, Chris and everybody, Mike and then everybody, because I was mad I couldn't go down as well. Like, I want to show respect for the brother that we all knew who was trying to make sure things were going right and was simply doing some stuff to enjoy himself. So I'm glad that we're here to remember him. I think what we can do in his memory best is to keep doing the work and keep pushing forward and try to make sure all the families don't have to deal with what's going on with his family right now. Let's continue to hold them all in prayer. Everybody say Eric. 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 Peace and blessings. Love and light, everybody. Thank you.
As we celebrate the life of a warrior. And so Eric Garvin was my brother. Like most relationships I have with my brothers and sometimes my sisters, we fight. We have difference of opinion. And it's through that difference of opinion and that struggle that we become closer and closer and closer. So I would be lying to you if I said every time I saw Eric it was a smile and a hug. No, it was a fight. It was close the door. Close the door. Yo, what are you talking about? What do you mean we can't get, hold on. Who do you think? It was those moments where the respect was born. Because through that adversity, that struggle, that difference of opinion, and the ability to stand in your square and your truth and say what it is you really feel, that we began to respect each other and grow into our brotherhood. And when he left the administration, he stepped into his own and started being more of the creative person on his journey. Then we connected even more. Because that part of us, that artist that exists in every human being that says explore the world, that artist that lives inside of every human being that says the earth is our turf, he was true to that voice. So he found himself traveling across countries, and he would check in and say, K-Bane, my next stop is. And he was so excited about his latest venture, which was Pure Re-Up. And he's explaining to me how it could be used for so many things. He was in his creative truth. He was in his reality of himself, and in that I was inspired by Eric. I was inspired because too often as people of color, we get one-dimensionalized. We can only show up in one way. But he was suited and booted, then he had the earrings popping and his hair was growing out. He was growing, he was a full human being. And so as we remember our brother, as we honor our brother, as we think about what his life has meant to all of us here, it's that inspiration that I know we're gonna take forward with us. It's the fact that we are unlimited in our potential and that the roles we play do not really define who we are. So at times he had a title, he had a nice suit game on, we had a Taylor situation that we was working on together as well, me and the bro. But he was much more than that. And a piece of Eric Garvin lives in all of us. A piece of that undeniable, unlimited sense of artist and creation lives in all of us. So I want to thank the leadership here in Staten Island because he was very, very proud of Staten Island. He was very, very proud of the work, the organizing work on the ground that he was a part of in Staten Island. I want to thank Penn and Perry for being their authentic selves. I want to thank the Chris Owens Foundation. I want to thank those leaders that said, you know what, let's stop the clock. We can no longer be desensitized to us dying and leaving this earth, and we also have to acknowledge what has been contributed by our soldiers, by our generals, by our leaders on the ground. With me, just say peace and blessings, Eric. Ready? Peace and blessings, Eric. Your thanks with the beautiful heart.
Peace, everybody. First off, shouts to the Garvin family. Shouts to my brother right there, man. So I met this brother doing the work, True to Life, Penn and Perry, and I never even knew that I knew this young man. Like I never even knew this was Miss Margie's grandson. Like I seen him. I've been in Miss Margie's house. I've been around this young man as a child. And I run right here and I would see him. I don't know if he lived around here, but I would see him all the time right here. And I'll be running and he always has like something positive to say. And we never got the build like that I knew him. And they're like, I know everybody else is hurt and I don't want to, I just wanted to say something positive. I just wanted to say, like, I grew up with his family, and I know he could have made bad decisions like all of us, and he made good decisions and went to the mayor's office, and I never got a chance to tell him how proud I was of him and that I know him. So I just want to take this moment to say, I love you, little bro, and I'm proud of you, and we're all proud of you. And that's all I wanted to share. Like, this was a good brother, man. We lost a good brother. And, you know, shout out to the family, man. Yo, I love you, bro.
I just want to, on behalf of the Garvin family, thank everybody for coming out and showing the love and support. And as several others have said, if, you know, there's one thing that he would want, is for you all to continue all of the great work you've been doing in this community, and just keep it true to yourself, man, because that's who he was. And thank you again for all the love you guys are showing. I really appreciate it. I felt the need to be back here. I went yesterday, and I just felt that I wanted to come here just to give that to you all. Thank you, truly. Thank you, bro. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all ready? 1, 3.
Love you, Eric. Love you, Eric.
Food, refreshments at 98 Beach. Make sure you come with a smile. Thanks for all the pure volunteers for pulling up.